Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Valiant. She was 24 years old and one of the youngest officers in the Galactic Coalition Navy, but humans aged slowly compared to most alien species. To her crew, she looked like a teenager. "Adjust shield frequency to pattern Delta 7, Maya ordered. Her voice was calm and clear. Commander Vorth, her second-in-command, looked down at her. He was a Crexian, nearly 8 feet tall, with dark blue scales and powerful arms. He did not move to follow her order. "Commander Chen," Vorth said slowly, "perhaps we should maintain standard shield patterns. No need to waste energy on unnecessary changes." Maya felt the familiar frustration rise in her chest. This happened every day. Every single day. "The patrol reports show energy fluctuations in this sector," Maya explained. "Delta 7 will protect us better if we encounter plasma-based weapons." Vorth made a sound that might have been a laugh. "When you have more experience, you will learn not to jump at shadows." The other bridge officers watched this exchange. A reptilian Soren at navigation flicked his tongue in amusement. The crystalline Lumi at engineering glowed a faint orange, which meant she was entertained. The insectoid Chittick at weapons clicked his mandibles together. They all thought the same thing. The human child did not belong in command. Maya clenched her jaw but said nothing more. She had learned that arguing only made things worse. Instead, she walked to her command chair and sat down. The chair was too big for her small frame. Another reminder that nothing here was made for humans. She pulled up her personal datapad and reviewed the patrol route. They were near the contested border where Coalition space met the territories of various independent factions. It was supposed to be a routine patrol. 3 days out, 3 days back, nothing dangerous. But Maya had read every intelligence report from the last 6 months. She had studied attack patterns, ship movements, and tactical formations. Something felt wrong about this sector. "Sensor sweep, full range," Maya ordered. The Soren navigator sighed but complied. "Nothing unusual, Commander. Just asteroids and background radiation." Maya studied the sensor display. He was right. Nothing unusual. But her instincts told her otherwise. She thought back to her time at the academy. She had graduated at the top of her class. Her tactical simulations had broken records. Her instructors had called her a natural genius at strategy. 3 separate admirals had written commendations for her innovative thinking. None of that mattered now. Her crew saw a child giving orders she did not understand. "Commander Chen," Vorth said from his station, "the crew needs to run emergency drills. Should I schedule them for tomorrow?" "No," Maya replied. "We will run them today. Now." Vorth's scales darkened, a sign of irritation. "The crew just finished a long shift. They are tired. We can wait until tomorrow." "Emergency drills are called emergencies because we do not know when they will happen," Maya said firmly. "We train when it is inconvenient. That is the point. I really think we should wait for—" Vorth paused, then said quietly, "for more experienced judgment on this." More experienced judgment. He meant an adult. He meant someone who was not her. Maya stood up. She was barely 5 feet tall, and Vorth towered over her. But she met his eyes. "Commander Vorth, I gave an order. Will you follow it or not?" The bridge went silent. Everyone watched. Vorth's jaw tightened. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he nodded slowly. "As you wish, Commander." But he moved slowly. Too slowly. And Maya knew the drills would be sloppy, half-hearted. The crew would go through the motions because they had to, not because they believed in her leadership. Maya returned to her chair. Her hands trembled slightly, but she kept them steady on the armrests. She could not show weakness. Not ever. Hours passed. The drills were as bad as she expected. Crew members moved slowly and made mistakes that would never happen if they took the training seriously. Vorth said nothing to correct them. When the drills finally ended, Maya returned to her private quarters. The room was small and plain. A bed, a desk, a small viewport showing the stars outside. She sat at her desk and opened her personal file. Academy records filled the screen. Top grades in every subject. Special recognition in tactical theory and strategic planning. Youngest graduate in 50 years, but what good were records when no one believed in you? Maya closed the file and looked out the viewport. Space stretched endlessly in all directions, beautiful and cold. A beep from her console interrupted her thoughts. It was the bridge. Commander Chen to the bridge, Vort's voice said. He did not sound urgent. We have some unusual sensor readings. Probably nothing, but you asked to be informed of any anomalies. Yeah. Maya was on her feet immediately. She ran to the bridge. When she arrived, she looked at the sensor display. Her blood went cold. Those are not anomalies, she said quietly. Those are ship signatures. Multiple contacts, moving in a standard hunter formation. It is probably just debris, Vort said. The sensors, often those are Zarkon raiders, Maya interrupted. Her voice was sharp now. I recognize the pattern from intelligence briefings. They are setting up an ambush. Commander Chen, I think you are overreacting, Vorth said. We should not, the sensors screamed in alert. 6. Jarkan warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel directly around them. They appeared in a perfect circle surrounding the Valiant completely. It was a trap. A perfect trap, and they had walked right into it. Maya stared at the display. Her worst nightmare was happening. She looked at Vorth. His face had gone pale, his scales turning almost white with fear. Battle stations, Maya ordered. Her voice did not shake. All crew to battle stations now? But she knew it might already be too late. The Zarkan had them surrounded. And her crew had not taken her seriously until this moment. Maya gripped her command chair. The real test was just beginning. Asterisk, asterisk, end of part 1, asterisk, 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 word count. 1043 asterisk, hash part. 2, perfect trap. The bridge erupted into chaos. 6 Drakon warships surrounded the Valiant in a perfect circle. Each ship was twice the size of their cruiser. Weapons ports glowed with charging energy.
Now you have the shields up.
Evasive pattern gamma. Maya shouted. The crew scrambled to follow her orders. For once, no one questioned her. Fear made them obey. Commander Vorth stood frozen at his station. His face was pale. His hands shook. He had dismissed Maya's warning, and now they were trapped. Hard to port, drop 30 degrees. Maya called to the navigator. Engineering, divert power from non-essential systems to shields and engines. The Valiant lurched sideways. Weapons fire streaked past them, bright green plasma that would have melted their hull. The ship shook as one blast clipped their rear shields. Shields at 80%, the Lumi engineer reported. Her crystalline body glowed bright red with stress. Maya studied the tactical display. 6 enemy ships, perfectly positioned. This was not a random patrol encounter. The Zarkon had planned this ambush carefully. They knew the Valiant's route. They had waited for them. But Maya had studied Jarkan tactics extensively. She knew their patterns. She knew how they thought. Roll inverted. Full burn on mark, Maya ordered. Weapons. Target the ship at heading 27s. 7-0. Fire all forward batteries when I give the signal. Commander, that ship has the strongest shields, the Chittick weapons officer protested. We should target the weaker do it. Maya snapped. The Valiant flipped upside down and accelerated hard. The sudden maneuver caught the Zarkon formation off guard. For just a moment, there was a gap in their perfect circle. Fire. Maya commanded. The Valiant's weapons blazed. They did not damage the targeted ship significantly, but that was not the point. The Zarkan commander adjusted his formation to close the gap, and in doing so, created a different opening. Now, heading 095, maximum emergency thrust, Maya shouted. The Valiant shot forward through the opening. Behind them, 2 Zarkan ships nearly collided as they tried to cut them off. The bridge crew worked frantically. They followed Maya's orders without question now. Survival instinct overrode their prejudice. There. Maya pointed at the tactical display. An asteroid field, 3 million kilometers ahead. We can lose them in there. Our ship is smaller, more maneuverable. Hope sparked in the crew's eyes. They might actually escape. Navigation, plot a course into the densest part of the field, Maya ordered. Keep our profile low and belay that order, Vorth suddenly said. Everyone turned to stare at him. Commander Vorth, what are you doing? Maya demanded. Vorth stepped forward, his command authority reasserting itself. The asteroid field is too dangerous. We will never outrun them in there. We need to head for open space. Maximum speed. We can outrun them in a straight line. No, Maya said urgently. That is exactly what they expect. Open space favors their larger ships. The asteroids are our only chance. I am overruling you, Commander Chen, Vorth said. His voice was firm now. He was trying to reclaim his authority, to make up for his earlier mistake. Navigator, set course for open space, heading 030. Commander Vorth, please listen to me. That is an order. Vorth shouted. The Soren navigator looked between them, uncertain. Then he obeyed Vorth. He was the second in command. His rank was higher. The Valiant turned away from the asteroid field and accelerated toward open space. Maya watched. In horror, as they made the worst possible tactical decision, the Jarkin ships adjusted instantly. They spread out into a pursuit formation. In open space, with their superior speed and weapons range, the outcome was inevitable. They are gaining. On us, the navigator reported. Weapons. In range in 30 seconds, the Chittick officer added. Maya turned to Vorth. You have killed us all. Vorth's scales paled again. He realized his mistake, but it was too late. The Jarkon ships opened fire. The Valiant's shields flared bright blue as they absorbed hit after hit. The ship shook violently, shields at 40%, 30%. Port engine hit. We are losing power. The Valiant slowed. The Jarkin ships closed in like predators surrounding wounded prey. All systems failing, the engineer reported. Her voice was quiet with defeat. Maya stood at her command chair. She watched their doom approach on the tactical display. She had known exactly how to save them, and her own crew had refused to listen. The main view screen showed the lead Jarkin ship. It was massive, dark metal covered in weapon ports. As they watched, smaller ships detached from its hull. Boarding pods. They are going to capture us, the navigator whispered. The boarding pods attached to the Valiant's hull with heavy metallic clangs. The sounds echoed through the corridors. Then came the screech of cutting tools. All hands, prepare for boarding, Maya said quietly. Do not resist. I will not have my crew die needlessly. The bridge doors exploded inward. Jarkin warriors poured through. Each one was over 8 feet tall. They had 4 arms, each holding a weapon. Their exoskeletons were covered in battle armor. Their faces were insectoid, with compound eyes that seemed to look everywhere at once. The bridge crew raised their hands in surrender. One Jarkin warrior approached, clearly the leader. His armor had commander markings. Vorth stepped forward quickly. I am Commander Vorth, second in command of this vessel. I wish to negotiate our surrender, and the Jarkon commander looked at Vorth for a moment. Then he looked away, dismissing him completely. The alien's compound eyes scanned the bridge. They settled on Maya. Maya stood straight. She kept her chin up. Even in defeat, she would maintain her dignity. Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen, she said clearly, commanding officer of the UES Valiant. Service number 7-2-4-9-Delta. I formally surrender my ship and crew to you. The Jarkin commander studied her. His head tilted to one side. Then he did something no one expected. He touched a communication device on his armor. He spoke in the clicking, hissing language of his people. A minute later, the bridge doors opened again. Another Jarkin entered. This one's armor was different. Elite markings. Command insignia. This was a very high-ranking officer. The elite warrior walked slowly across the bridge. His 4 eyes focused entirely on Maya. He ignored every other person in the room. He stopped in front of her. Maya barely came up to his chest. When he spoke, his accent was heavy, but his standard was clear. Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen, the Jarkin officer said, The shadow of Talon, the seventh requests your presence. He wishes to meet the architect of his defeat. Confused whispers spread through the crew. What defeat? Vorth said. What is he talking about? The Zarkon officer did not answer. He kept his four eyes on Maya. Maya's mind raced. Talon 7. She knew that name. A battle from 2 years ago. She had been a junior tactical officer then, manning a secondary console. The Coalition had been losing badly, and then her eyes widened. The Zarkon officer saw her recognition. He made a gesture that might have been a nod. Yes, Tactician Chen, he said. We know what you did. And we have been looking for you. Asterisk, asterisk, end of part 2. Asterisk, 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 word count. 1182 asterisk hash. Part 3. The architect Maya walked through the corridors of the Zarkon flagship. 2 elite warriors escorted her, but they did not treat her roughly. They walked beside her, not behind her. Like she was a visiting officer, not a prisoner. Behind them, the Valiant's crew was being taken to holding cells. Maya glimpsed Vorth's confused face as they passed. He did not understand what was happening. None of them did. The flagship was massive. The corridors were wide and tall, built for the large Zarkon physiology. Maya felt tiny walking through them. Her boots echoed on the metal floor. They passed groups of Zarkon warriors. Each time, the warriors stopped what they were doing. They watched Maya walk past. Some of them made a gesture with their lower right arm, touching their chest plates. It looked like a sign of respect. Maya's mind raced. What did they know about her? What did they want? They reached a large door. It opened into a command chamber. The room was circular, with tactical displays covering the walls. In the center stood a Zarkon, unlike any Maya had seen before. He was enormous, even for his species. His armor was black and covered in markings that told of many battles. 3 of his 4 arms bore ceremonial weapons. His compound eyes were a deep gold color. Or Master Krathzer, one of her escorts announced. The human tactician. Krathzer dismissed the escorts with a wave. They left immediately. The door closed behind them. Maya and Krathzer were alone. Sit, Krathzer said, gesturing to a chair. His standard was much better than the other officers. Maya sat. The chair was large, but she managed. Krathzer remained standing for a moment, all 4 of his eyes studying her. You do not remember me? Krathzer finally said. But I remember you, Tactician Chen. Talon 7, Maya said quietly. Yes. Krathzer activated a holographic display. It showed a star system. Ships moved in formation. The Battle of Talon 7. 2 years, 4 months, 17 days ago. The hologram played out the battle. Maya watched coalition ships and Zarkon vessels clash. She remembered that day. She had been a junior tactical officer on the cruiser Horizon. It had been her first real combat situation. We were winning, Krathzer said. Your coalition force was in retreat. Their formation was breaking. In another hour, we would have destroyed them completely. Maya nodded slowly. She remembered the fear on the bridge. The senior officers had been hit by the initial attack. Many were dead or wounded. The ship's commanding officer was unconscious in medical bay. Then something changed, Krathzer continued. The hologram showed it. The coalition ships suddenly moved differently. They broke apart and reformed in a new pattern. They started exploiting weaknesses in the Zarkon formation. Someone on one of your ships understood how we fight, Krathzer said. His voice held a strange tone. Was it respect? They knew our doctrine better than we know it ourselves. They predicted our every move. They turned our strengths into weaknesses, Maya remembered. She had been at an auxiliary tactical console. The senior tactical officer was dead. No one was coordinating the fleet response. So Maya had taken over. She had sent tactical suggestions to the other coalition ships. Most of them had been too desperate to question orders from a junior officer. We lost, Krathzer said simply. For the first time in my military career, I was defeated. My fleet was forced to retreat. I lost 7 ships and thousands of warriors. The hologram faded. Krathzer sat down across from Maya. Even sitting, he towered over her. After the battle, I studied every moment of the engagement, Krathzer said. I have watched the recordings hundreds of times. I needed to understand how I was defeated. I needed to learn from it. That is the mark of a good commander, Maya said quietly. Krathzer made a clicking sound that might have been agreement. I used intelligence resources to investigate. I found the names of every officer on every coalition ship that day. Most of your senior officers were incapacitated by our initial strike. But there was one tactical console still active on the horizon. One junior officer at that station, he pulled up a service record. Maya's official photograph appeared. She looked even younger in that picture. Maya Chen, Krathzer said. 22 years old. Junior tactical officer, 4th class. No combat experience. And yet, the innovative tactics came from her console. Maya said nothing. Her official report about the battle had been dismissed by Coalition Command. They said a junior officer could not have coordinated such a complex fleet action. They said she was exaggerating her role. They gave credit to a dead senior officer instead. I have studied your tactics for 2 years, Krathzer continued. I have learned from them. I have taught them to my officers. You made me a better commander, Tactician Chen. Even though you are my enemy, you earned my respect. Why? Maya asked. Why does any of this matter to you? Because respect is everything to the Zharkon, Krathzer said. We value tactical brilliance above all else. A warrior who defeats us with honor earns our deepest respect. You did not just beat us, Tactician. You taught us. That is a gift. He stood and walked to the tactical display. When our intelligence learned that you were commanding a patrol cruiser in this sector, I set this ambush. I wanted to meet you. To speak with you, you attacked my ship just to talk to me, Maya said in disbelief. I wanted to meet the mind that defeated me, Krathzer said, and I wanted to make an offer. What kind of offer? I will release you and all your crew safely if you agree to participate in a tactical exchange. Share strategic theories with me. Discuss the art of warfare. As honorable opponents. Maya stared at him. This was insane. An enemy commander wanted to exchange tactical knowledge with her, and he was offering her crew's freedom for it. My own people do not believe in me, Maya said quietly. No one in the coalition credited me for Talon 7. They said I was lying, that I was trying to take credit for a dead officer's work. But I believe you, Krathzer said. I see you, Tactician Chen. I know what you are. Before Maya could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. A Zharkan officer burst through the door. War Master. Coalition ships have entered the system. They are on an intercept course. Krathzer moved to the tactical display. 3 coalition ships appeared on the screen. One was a heavy cruiser, much larger than the Valiant. Rescue Force, Krathzer said. He looked at Maya. Your people came for you. Maya studied the display. Her heart sank. They are walking into the same trap. Your ships are still in ambush formation? Yes, Krathzer agreed. They will be surrounded in minutes. Maya watched the coalition ships advance. They had no idea what they were flying into. Dozens of officers and crew members were about to die, unless someone warned them. Krathzer looked at Maya. He gestured to the communication console. The choice is yours, Tactician Chen, he said quietly. Will you help save the people who never respected you? Asterisk, asterisk. End of part 3. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk word count. 1137 asterisk, hash. Part 4. Enemies respect. Maya stared at the tactical display. 3 coalition ships were advancing straight into Krathzer's trap. If she did nothing, they would all die. She looked at Krathzer. The War Master watched her with his 4 golden eyes. He was testing her. Seeing what kind of person she truly was, Maya made her decision. Let me contact them, she said. Krathzer gestured to the communication console. I grant you permission, Tactician. Maya moved to the console. She opened a channel to the Coalition Rescue Force. This is Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen, 2 Coalition vessels. You are flying into an ambush. 6 Zharkan warships are positioned, Lieutenant Commander Chen, a harsh voice interrupted. The main view screen showed a large Krexian officer with Admiral insignia, Admiral Torvin. Stand down immediately. You are clearly under duress. Do not provide any information. Admiral, please listen, Maya said urgently. The Jarkin have a perfect ambush formation. If you continue on this course, you will be surrounded in 3 minutes. You need to alter your heading too, Commander Chen, Admiral Torvin said coldly. I've been commanding fleets for 30 years. I do not need tactical advice from a hostage, especially not from someone who still looks like she should be in school. Maya felt the familiar frustration. Even now, even here, they would not listen. Admiral, I am trying to save your lives, Maya insisted. The trap formation uses a delayed encirclement pattern. You will not see the other ships until it is too late. Please, trust me enough, Torvin snapped. We are executing our rescue operation according to proper military doctrine. Torvin out. The communication channel closed. Maya stood there, staring at the blank screen. Beside her, Krathzer made a clicking sound. They do not listen to you, he observed. Even when you try to save them, no, Maya said quietly. They never do. Krathzer studied her for a long moment. Then he made a decision. Tactician Chen, I will make you an offer. Serve as my tactical advisor for this engagement. If your strategies work and we win, I will release all coalition prisoners without harm. You have my word as War Master. Maya turned to him, shocked. You want me to help you fight my own people? I want to see if you can save them, Krathzer corrected. You know, coalition doctrine. You know their weaknesses. You can ensure minimal casualties. Is that not better than watching them die because they will not listen to you? Maya thought about it. It was an impossible choice. But if she did nothing, those coalition officers would die. All of them. Right. I will do it, Maya said. But on one condition, no coalition deaths. We disable their ships only. Agreed, Krathzer said immediately. Maya moved to the tactical display. She studied the coalition formation. She knew their standard rescue protocols. She knew exactly what they would do. They will approach from heading to 7-0, Maya said. Their heavy cruiser will take point position. The other 2 ships will flank at standard escort distance. Correct, Krathzer confirmed. Watching his own sensors, your ships should move to positions Alpha, Gamma, and Epsilon, Maya said, pointing to locations on the display. Wait until the coalition forces pass this point, then close the circle. But target only engines and weapons. Nothing that will cause life support failures. Krathzer gave orders to his fleet. His officers responded immediately. They moved with precision. Maya watched the coalition ships advance. She felt sick inside. She was helping the enemy, but she was also saving lives. The coalition rescue force flew deeper into the trap. On the view screen, Maya could see Admiral Torvin's flagship. He looked confident, certain of his military superiority. No, Maya said quietly. Jarkin ships appeared on all sides of the coalition formation. The trap snapped shut. Admiral Torvin's face on the view screen showed shock and horror. He had not expected this. All ships, evasive maneuvers. Torvin shouted. Return fire. But Maya had already predicted every move. She guided Krathzer's fleet like a conductor directing an orchestra. When coalition ships moved left, Jarkin vessels were already there. When they tried to break through, the gaps closed before they could escape. It was perfect, clinical, brutal in its efficiency. Within 10 minutes, all 3 coalition ships were disabled. Their engines were offline. Their weapons were destroyed. But their life support was intact. No casualties in the holding cells. The Valiant's crew watched on viewing screens. They saw their young commander working beside the enemy War Master. They saw Jarkin officers turning to her for suggestions. They saw the enemy treating her with a respect they had never shown. Commander Vorth stared at the screen. His scales had gone pale. By the ancestors, he whispered. What have we done? On the flagship bridge, Admiral Torvin's ship was being tractored into position. His face on the view screen was filled with rage and humiliation. Krathzer opened a communication channel. Admiral Torvin, you have been defeated. but you should know who defeated you." The War Master gestured to Maya. She stepped into view of the camera. Torvin's eyes widened. "Chen, you helped them?" "I saved your life, Admiral," Maya said quietly. "You would not listen to my warning. So I made sure the battle was won without casualties. All your crew members are alive. You are welcome." Krathzer made a clicking sound that might have been laughter. "Admiral Torvin, you were defeated by Tactician Chen, the same human who defeated me at Talon 7 2 years ago. I suggest you learn from this, as I did." Torvin looked between Krathzer and Maya. Understanding slowly dawned on his face. Then shame. "The Battle of Talon 7, Torvin said slowly. "The report from Junior Officer Chen, the one we dismissed as fantasy. It was real?" "Every word," Krathzar confirmed. "This human is the finest tactical mind I have encountered in my career, and you waste her because she looks young." Krathzar turned to Maya. "I will keep my word, Tactician. All prisoners are released." He removed something from his armor. It was a medallion carved from black stone with Jarkan military symbols. "This is a token of respect between worthy opponents. You defeated me honorably. You saved your people, even those who doubted you. You are a true warrior." Maya took the medallion. It was warm in her hand. "Our people may be at war," Krathzer continued, "but you will always have the honor of the Jarkan warrior caste. We see you, Tactician Chen, even if your own do not." Transport pods brought the Valiant's crew back to their ship. They walked past Maya in silence. Some looked ashamed, others confused. All of them saw her differently now. Vorth stopped in front of her. The large Krexian looked down at the small human. "Commander Chen, I later commander," Maya said quietly. "Get our crew back to the ship." As the last prisoners were transferred, Admiral Torvin contacted Maya again. "Lieutenant Commander Chen," he said. His voice was tight with anger. "You collaborated with the enemy. You gave them tactical assistance. When we return to base, you will face an investigation for treason." Maya said nothing. She simply held up the Jarkan medallion. "Confine yourself to quarters when you return to your ship," Torvin continued. "You are under arrest, Commander." The communication cut off. Maya stood on the Jarkan flagship bridge. She had saved everyone. She had proven her abilities beyond any doubt, and now she was going to be court-martialed for treason. Krathzar placed one of his large hands on her shoulder. "You did the right thing, Tactician. History will remember that, even if your commanders do not." Maya returned to the Valiant. Her crew watched her in silence as she walked through the corridors. When she reached her quarters, 2 guards took positions outside her door. She was a prisoner on her own ship. Maya sat at her desk. She placed the Jarkan medallion next to her coalition rank insignia. 2 symbols. One from an enemy who respected her, one from allies who did not. She wondered which one meant more. Asterisk, asterisk, end of part 4. Asterisk, 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 word count. 1358 asterisk, hash. Part 5. True, Commander Maya sat in her quarters under guard. Outside her door, she could hear whispers. The crew was talking about what had happened. Some voices sounded angry. Others sounded uncertain. A few sounded ashamed. 3 days passed. Maya stayed in her room, waiting. Finally, the summons came. "Lieutenant Commander Chen," a guard said through the door. "Admiral Torvin has ordered you to report to his flagship for a formal inquiry." Maya put on her dress uniform. She pinned her rank insignia carefully. Then she picked up the Jarkan medallion. After a moment of thought, she placed it in her pocket. She was transported to Admiral Torvin's flagship. The corridors were filled with officers who stopped to stare at her. Some looked curious. Others looked disgusted. The young human who had helped the enemy. The hearing room was large and formal. A long table sat at the front with 3 senior officers behind it. Admiral Torvin sat in the center. To his left was a human admiral named Rodriguez. To his right was a Lumi commander, whose crystalline body glowed a neutral blue. Maya stood at attention before them. The The room was filled with other officers watching the proceedings. Lieutenant Commander Maya Chen, Admiral Torvin began. You are charged with collaboration with enemy forces, providing tactical assistance to hostile combatants, and conduct unbecoming an officer. How do you plead? Not guilty, Admiral, Maya said clearly. Not guilty? Torvin's voice rose. You were observed giving tactical advice to a Jarkon War Master. You helped him defeat a coalition rescue force. This is documented fact. I saved the lives of every person in that rescue force, Maya replied calmly. Including yours, Admiral. No casualties. Every officer and crew member returned home safely because of the tactical parameters I established. By helping the enemy. Torvin slammed his hand on the table. Permission to speak, Admiral? A voice called from the back of the room. Everyone turned. Commander Vorth stood up. He walked to the front of the room. Commander Vorth, Admiral Rodriguez said. You wish to testify? Yes, Admiral. Vorth stood at attention. He looked straight ahead, not at Maya. I need to tell the truth about what happened. The tribunal gestured for him to continue. Vorth took a deep breath. Commander Chen issued multiple warnings before our ship was captured. She identified the Jarkin ambush formation. She ordered appropriate tactical responses. I countermanded her orders. I dismissed her warnings. I believe she was too young and inexperienced to understand what she was seeing. His scales had darkened with shame. When the trap closed, Commander Chen tried to save us. She plotted an escape route through an asteroid field that would have worked. I overruled her again. I ordered the ship into open space, directly into the enemy's advantage. My actions led to our capture, not hers. The room was silent. Commander Chen is a superior tactical officer, Vorth continued, his voice steady. I failed to follow her orders because of my prejudice. I judged her by her appearance, not her abilities. I was wrong. Vorth finally looked at Maya. She is the best commander I have ever served under, and I did not see it until an enemy showed me. Thank you, Commander, Admiral Rodriguez said quietly. You may step back. Permission to testify, Admirals, another voice called. The Soren navigator stood up. Then the Lumi engineer. Then the Chittock weapons officer. One by one, the Valiant's crew members asked to speak. They all told the same story. They had dismissed Maya's orders. They had delayed following her commands. They had judged her by her youth instead of her skill. We failed her, the Lumi engineer said, her body glowing orange with shame. She tried to lead us properly. We refused to follow. Admiral Torvin looked uncomfortable. The evidence was not going the way he expected. Nevertheless, Torvin said, Commander Chen collaborated with the enemy. She gave tactical advice to a Jarkon War Master. That is treason. Admiral, may I present evidence? Admiral Rodriguez asked. She pulled up a holographic display. These are the battle logs from the engagement with the rescue force. I have analyzed them carefully. The display showed the battle. Every move, every tactical decision. Commander Chen's advice ensured 0 casualties, Rodriguez explained. Every Jarkon weapon strike targeted only engines and weapon systems. Life support was never threatened. If Chen had wanted to help the enemy cause maximum damage, she could have done so. Instead, she protected coalition lives while appearing to cooperate. Rodriguez looked at Maya with something like respect. This was not collaboration, Admiral Torvin. This was damage control under impossible circumstances. She saved your life and the lives of everyone in your fleet. Furthermore, Rodriguez continued, I have reviewed the reports from the Battle of Talon 7. The display changed. It showed the battle from 2 years ago. Junior Officer Chen filed a report claiming she coordinated coalition fleet tactics during this engagement, Rodriguez said. Her report was dismissed as the fantasy of a young officer trying to claim credit. But I have reviewed the tactical logs carefully. The innovative maneuvers did originate from her console. Everything she reported was true. Maya watched as the admirals studied the evidence. She saw understanding dawn on their faces. We dismissed her, Admiral Rodriguez said quietly. We gave credit to a dead senior officer because we could not believe a junior officer was capable of such brilliance. We failed her long before this incident. The door to the hearing room opened. A communication officer rushed in and handed something to Admiral Torvin. He read it, and his face went pale. "What is it?" Admiral Rodriguez asked. Torvin looked up. "This is a message from Jarkon Military Command. It is addressed to Coalition High Command. It is a formal military commendation." "What?" Rodriguez said in disbelief. Torvin read from the message. "War Master Krathzer of the Jarkan Dominion hereby commends Lieutenant Commander Maya Chin of the Galactic Coalition for her tactical brilliance, honorable conduct, and protection of Coalition lives. He states that she is the finest tactical mind he has encountered in 15 years of warfare. He requests that the Coalition recognize her abilities, or they will continue to lose battles they should win." The room erupted in shocked whispers. "An enemy commander is defending her," the Lumi Tribunal member said. "This is unprecedented." Admiral Torvin put down the message. He looked at Maya for a long time. She met his eyes without flinching. Finally, Torvin spoke. "Commander Chen, when I was young, I was also dismissed because of my appearance. I had to fight for every bit of respect I earned. Somewhere along the way, I forgot what that felt like. I became the same kind of officer I once hated." He stood up. "The charges against you are dismissed. More than that, you are hereby promoted to full commander with commendation. You will also receive formal recognition for your actions at the Battle of Talon 7. Torvin paused. "I apologize, Commander Chen. You saved my life, and I repaid you with accusations of treason. You deserve better from the Coalition." Maya stood very still. She had expected punishment. Instead, she was being promoted. "Thank you, Admiral," she said quietly. "There is one more thing," Admiral Rodriguez said. "The Coalition Tactical Academy has requested your assignment as a senior instructor. They want you to teach the next generation of officers." Maya thought about it. Teaching, sharing what she knew, making sure other young officers would not face what she had faced. "I accept the posting," Maya said. "But I have one request." "Name it," Torvin said. "I want Commander Vorth to remain as my executive officer on the Valiant until my transfer is complete. He has learned from his mistakes. That makes him a better officer than those who never make mistakes." Worth's eyes widened. "Commander Chen, I do not deserve." "You deserve a second chance, Commander," Maya interrupted. "We all do." After the hearing, Maya returned to the Valiant. The crew lined the corridors, standing at attention as she walked past. It was a sign of respect, real respect this time. On the bridge, Maya stood at her command chair. The familiar stations surrounded her. Her crew watched her with new eyes. "Commander on the bridge," Vorth announced formally. Maya smiled slightly. "At ease, everyone. We have work to do. We are running those emergency drills I ordered 3 days ago. And this time, I expect perfect execution." "Yes, Commander." The crew responded in unison. Their voices were loud, crisp, professional. The drills went flawlessly. Every crew member performed with precision. They listened to every order. They followed every command without hesitation. When the drills ended, Maya returned to her ready room. She took out the Jarkon medallion and placed it on her desk next to her new rank insignia. 2 symbols. One from an enemy who saw her worth. One from allies who finally learned to see it too. Her door chimed. "Come in," Maya called. Vorth entered. He looked uncomfortable. "Commander, I wanted to say..." "You already apologized, Commander Vorth," Maya said. "What matters now is what we do next. Are you willing to learn?" "Yes, Commander," Vorth said. "I am good." "Then sit down. We need to discuss tactical doctrine revisions." Vorth sat across from her. For the next hour, they discussed strategy and tactics. Vorth asked questions. Maya answered them. For the first time, they worked together as true colleagues. Later that night, Maya recorded a message. It would be sent to young officers across the Coalition fleet. "You may be dismissed because of your age, your species, your appearance," Maya said to the camera. you may work twice as hard for half the recognition. You may feel invisible, even when you are standing right in front of them. She held up the Jarkon medallion. But competence speaks louder than prejudice. Trust in your training. Believe in your abilities. Keep doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. The right people will eventually see you. She paused, then smiled slightly. Even if those people are wearing enemy armor? Even if they see you before your own allies do? You are worthy. Never forget that. Maya ended the recording and looked out at the stars. She was only 24 years old. She looked like a teenager, but she was a full commander now, with commendations for valor and tactical brilliance. She had fought for respect and finally earned it. Not by demanding it, not by proving herself to her crew, but by being exactly who she always was, a brilliant tactical officer who put the mission and her people first. On the bridge, Commander Vorth gave orders for departure. The Valiant powered up its engines. "Course laid in, Commander," the Soren navigator reported. "Ready on your order?" Maya took her command chair. It felt right now, like it finally fit her. "Take us home, Commander Vorth," Maya said. "We have a lot of work to do." The Valiant jumped to faster-than-light speed. Behind it, the stars blurred into streaks of light. And on the bridge, a crew finally followed their true commander, the one the enemy had saluted before they did. The end.